Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Linnea, and today I want to go over a grammar topic that I found interesting. And I noticed one person using these two words incorrectly, and I wanted to go over how to use them correctly. And these two words are to remind and to remember. So let's go over the difference between these two tricky verbs. Okay, so what is the difference between to remind and to remember? Well, here's a quick tip for you. The verb remind should be followed by a person or a pronoun. If you don't see a person or a pronoun behind the word to remind, you may not be using it correctly. Next, the verb remember should not be followed by a person or a pronoun. If it is, it's probably used incorrectly. So let's take a look at some sample statements. Incorrect. I reminded to get milk from the store. I reminded to get milk from the store. Well, the problem, according to the quick tip, is that a person or a pronoun should come after remind. But instead, we have a verb phrase, an infinitive phrase, to get milk. This is an action that this person has to do, but there's no one being reminded. A person must be reminded of something. Okay, so how can we change this? Well, first, if you follow the quick tip, you could use the word remember, because remember, you do not need a person or a pronoun afterwards. I remembered to get milk from the store. Perfect sentence. What about the next one? She reminded me to get milk from the store. Perfect sentence. Why? Well, there is a person followed by the person follows the verb. Reminded me. So the verb should be followed by a person or a pronoun. So this is perfect. Okay, so let's just unpack this and go through some more examples. To remind means to make someone remember something or think of something. To make someone, okay, this being the very key difference. I reminded myself to wash the dishes. Perfect. Incorrect. I reminded to wash the dishes. Why is that wrong? Because no one is being made to remember. The myself is missing. Okay, let's take a look at the next example. The teacher reminded her students to read their books. Notice it says her students. The teacher is reminding someone to remember something. Next one. My mother always reminds my brother to not play ball in the house. That lady reminded me of my mother, meaning her characteristic or her appearance is similar or like my mother's. This song reminds me of one I heard before. Okay, so that's remind. Let's go to the verb remember, and we will notice there is no person or pronoun after the verb. Remember means to think of something again, or to be aware of something from the past. Example, I remembered to wash the dishes. Perfect. It's a thing you remember. but you're not making someone else remember. Incorrect sentence would be, I reminded to wash the dishes. Why is that incorrect? Because reminded means you have to have someone, person, or a pronoun after the verb. So that wouldn't work. Another thing that would be incorrect is I remembered myself to wash the dishes. Why is this incorrect? Because remember should not be followed by a person or a pronoun. Let's take a look at the next example. She remembers her favorite childhood toy. The toy is the thing she remembers. There's no person or pronoun after remember, so it's good. What about in the form of a question? Do you remember this song? This is a good question because remember is not followed by a person or a pronoun. This song is the thing a person can remember. Incorrect would be, do you remind this song? Why is this incorrect? How do you fix it? We need to add a person or pronoun after the verb remind. Does this song remind you of anything? Okay, now it's your turn. Write 5 sentences with the word remember used correctly. Then write 5 sentences with the word remind used correctly. Then go ahead and check your answers against the examples I gave you above. I hope this helps. Always practice writing as much as possible, and always reach out to me if you need any more help on any grammar or any vocabulary. Have a great day.